So I had something happen over this last week, and it really got me thinking about decluttering and how so often we are afraid to let things go because we don't want to regret it later. So I had a night off this last week, and my husband and I do this. We love it. We take turns having some time to ourselves, and this last week I decided to go and get a couple of errands done. I bought a couple things that I had been wanting and needing. I bought the cutest pair of earrings. I bought some shorts for my daughter. She needed some hair clips. Anyway, I was really excited because I don't bring tons of new inventory into the home very often. I came home from this little night out and kind of forgot about this bag of stuff. Started working around the house. It was getting bedtime, so I was very distracted. Well, the next day, I went back to my car, which is the last place I remember having this stuff, and it was gone. The bag was gone, and I thought, oh, I must have just carried it inside and set it on the counter. So I went inside. It's nowhere to be found. I basically tore my house apart looking for this bag of stuff. And again, there wasn't a lot in it, but it was stuff that I both needed and wanted, and it was all new, and I really started to think, I threw this bag away. I threw it away. I was cleaning up in the kitchen. What do you bet? I brought it in the house, set it on the counter, tidied the kitchen quick. It's bedtime. I think I threw it away. Guess what? It was trash night, and we took the garbage out that night. Guys, the bag is gone. It was thrown away. That is my only conclusion. And it got me thinking, this is so much like decluttering and the fear of letting something go that you're going to regret later. Did I regret that I lost that bag? Guys, it's been a week and I haven't found it. It is in the garbage. It's gone forever. I totally regret that I lost that stuff. I needed those shorts for my daughter. She needed the hair clips. And I really wanted those earrings. And I regret that I lost that bag. And it made me really start thinking about how this holds us up in the decluttering process. So often we think, oh my gosh, I am gonna regret this. I'm gonna have to go back out and spend the money, and it's gonna be a huge pain. I'm gonna hold on to it just in case I need it later. Well, the reality is that you're probably not gonna go back out and get that stuff. I am not gonna go rebuy those shorts, those hair clips, and those earrings. I'm not doing it. I'm not. So the main thing that I think I took away from this, and that you can take away and learn from my mistake, is that oftentimes, even if you end up regretting it, it is not worth the time or money to go and get it again. You will do without. That's what I'm doing. I'm just saying, I'm cutting my losses, saying that is a bummer, and I'm moving on without the items. All right, so this little box has been in my closet for I don't even know how many months. I bought it on an impulse thinking, oh my gosh, how cute. We can like paint it. My daughter can put stickers on it. It can be a little like surprise, like treasure. For my kids, it can be so many things. What about a gift box? I thought, oh my gosh, what a cute gift box with some twine. It's adorable, and I can think of so many different ways that I can use this. Here's the deal. I did not put this with my crafting stuff, and I completely forgot that I had it. So I've been going on for 6 months with this little box on a shelf in my closet, not where it belongs, just thinking, oh, I'll remember to use it if I see it there. Guess what? I became clutter blind, completely clutter blind, and that is a real thing. We become clutter blind to the stuff in our home, especially if it's been sitting there for a long time. And often when you put it out to help you remember it's there, you become absolutely clutter blind to it. And so it just becomes excess in your home, extra that you have to now deal with. You don't just get to forget that it's there and never deal with it again. You have to deal with it at some point. So you might be fearful to get rid of something like this, thinking, I have use for this. I'm gonna use this at some point. I just know it. and then you stash it somewhere and forget about it, and it becomes clutter in your home. So here is where I am going with this. I don't want you to hold on to things just because you might use them someday. I might like that again. I kept this necklace for like 10 years thinking it might come back in style. Guess what? It never did. I ended up having to declutter it anyway. And in the meantime, for 10 years, it took up clutter, took up space, and became clutter in my home. So the problem with holding on to items just in case is that you become clutter blind to them. You forget they're there. They don't serve their purpose for you or anyone else. If you pass this on, somebody else might absolutely have use for it today. It's really risky to hold on to things just in case and to let that emotion, that fear of letting it go and needing it again, hold you back. Don't be fearful, but embrace the freedom of letting it go. Okay, I have one more example. I've had this gorgeous jewelry box. It's sentimental. My parents gave it to me for Christmas. I've loved storing different things in here throughout the years, and I thought it was a really pretty thing to display on my dresser. Well, in the past couple of years, I haven't really used it, and I just stuck it again. It was actually right next to that little paper mache box on the top shelf in my closet. And it's covered in dust. I pulled it out from the back of that shelf, and I had no idea what was gonna be in here. I thought it could be empty. There could be stuff in here. I lifted the lid, and it is full of Polly Pockets. I have been wondering where these Polly Pocket pieces have been forever. I mean, there's a battery in here, like for my camera. There's different little pictures. There's some pins, a pen. This is now clutter, the container. A piece of clutter to hold more clutter. It's crazy. I have 2 layers of clutter here. And what happened was I became clutter blind. I stopped using this, and I didn't want to get rid of it because it was special. My parents had given it to me, and I thought it can become useful. It's been useful before, it will be useful again. And that kind of thinking makes perfect logical sense to me. And I think it does to all of us. Like, I've used it before, I'll use it again. But the problem, as you can see with doing this, is that now it's an excuse just to have more clutter in my life. This is not where I would look for these first, obviously, because I've been searching and searching for these Polly pieces. I would not look for Polly in the back, shoved back shelf of my closet inside this thing that I became clutter blind to, right? That doesn't make any sense. So what do I need to do? I need to get rid of this box. I need to put Polly where it goes because my daughter loves Polly. I need to put Polly back and then find homes for all this other stuff. And if I don't know where it belongs, if I don't have an automatic, there is a home for this and I know exactly where it goes, it has to be decluttered. So I'm gonna go through this. I'm gonna get rid of this. So the lesson here is that when you're worried that you're going to need it later or want it later, but you don't have an immediate use for it and you haven't been using it in, the past several weeks, it is now clutter and it needs to leave your home. Otherwise, you will become clutter blind just like me, and you will end up storing these items and forgetting about them even in plain sight. This shelf in my closet is open. This is not behind a cupboard. This was right in front of my face for months and months and months and months, and I completely forgot it was there. I could have been living without this clutter and gotten that space back for all that time. So it totally stole from me just because I put off that decision. Here I am today having to make the decision anyway. Just because I didn't make the decision months ago doesn't mean I get a free pass to not make the decision about the stuff. I'm here again, now 2 times over, having to think about the same item. I should have just decluttered them to begin with. Most often, you are not gonna go out and repurchase the item. You will find a way to do without, and honestly, that is so freeing. Don't let that scare you. Having less in your home is less cleaning, less clutter, less weighing you down. I hope today's video was helpful. Please subscribe if it was, and I will catch you soon. Bye.